first episode of Questioning the Answer. It's a, it's a bit of a tricky outlook that we are trying to get here. Just to give a bit of explanation about how I came up with the name, uh, I have been a writer. My name is Bunty, and because of my profession, which is advertising, I have had to dig a lot of superficial knowledge to make my way through interesting meetings and come across as knowledgeable. And in the search of looking impressive, there's been a lot of studying, a lot of books, a lot of articles, a lot of everything one can land one's hands on. And over a period, I realized that most of the time it was good to see one through the meetings as well as come across as very knowledgeable compared to other friends and people. Uh, and yet, when I met somebody of substance, be it any age, I always realized that my view was very skewed by my limited understanding of the subject. Um, so one is very clever, one studies a lot more, and then comes across looking even more confident about what one knows. बट ये करते करते भी पता चलता है कि all of this is superficial. No matter what you do, till you experience the knowledge, it's uh, always hearsay. So I realized our academic system has always pushed us towards finding the right answers, and we've really been very happy once we've cracked it in the exam or the test or stuff like that. And the point is that the answer itself did not hold us good in life sometimes. So how about questioning the answer that we had, the knowledge that we base ourselves on? Uh, it is a joy to be talking to your generation because you are at the cusp of having finished or about to finish your academic careers, and you are looking either at going for mastering one kind of subject or else working and figuring out your life. This was the objective of starting the values workshop, talking to people who are about to be uh, be holding the world for us in the future. And what we've given them so far in terms of knowledge is very skewed in one direction. It's about success, it's about economics, it's about, um, to loosely use the term capitalism of sorts, but it's been very skewed way of the world where only the haves, or else if the have nots have been covered, they are colored in one way or the other. We've rarely allowed them to have a differing point of view. It's already cast in one particular way. So the idea of having Anant and Ushwa on the show is to get their perspective about how they look at this thing. So I would want to start with Ushwa. Would you want to tell us something about yourself? Or what are you studying or what do you plan to do?
Hi, my name is Ushwa. I just finished my degree, BSc, in economics, math, and stats. I'm not sure what I'm going to study after this for my master's, though I know I want to because my goal is to get a PhD. Uh, it's a long way away, but that seems to be the path I'm on because the one thing that I've learned from our education system is that I'm a problem solver. I don't like doing anything that doesn't require me to think of a solution. And that's primarily why I was good at maths
Oh,
and nothing else. But yeah, that's
okay.
it. That's for me.
Anant, would you want to tell us something about your background, academics?
Yeah, I have just completed my master's in international relations from the London School of Economics. My background relates to having completed my bachelor's in history. Looking forward, I am I don't consider myself an academic, so I don't think I'll be pursuing a PhD, but I'll be looking for more uh, of a career path from now.
Okay. So your studies are over. Are you looking at something in terms of studying further or what?
I may opt to do a second master's, but much later. Right now, I'm job hunting.
Okay. So that's a good start, job hunting, and you're looking at a career in academics for now.
Excuse me.
So the topic I have chosen today is with relevance to what I said a few minutes back is, has the world failed its youth? And this is in the scenario of the COVID situation, where suddenly people of my age who spent um, a decade or more at work, they are in either medium or senior management positions, and they were ruling the world, if I were to call it that, in terms of how the business runs. Uh, every generation hands down what they have done for the world in various ways, individually to families or in their immediate local societies or their country, and people of high intellect and high moral worth have left stuff for the entire world to take stuff from. So, at the juncture where you are, uh, I will quote a friend's daughter who had just told me when I was planning to start this series of podcasts. She was about to finish her master's in her bachelor's in communication. She said, I was looking forward to work, and now before I have put in my first CV anywhere, and I have only one exam to go, we have the lockdown in India. So I don't even know what to look forward to. And the sense of responsibility I felt towards it as an individual, that we had our run, and now when it's time to pass the baton, we haven't served you well. So, one, is this topic relevant to you all? Do you think like this, or was it one off that my friend's daughter was feeling? Do you want to go first, Ushwa?
I don't mind. So I agree with what this friend's daughter of yours said. I definitely do sometimes wake up and think, damn it, I missed my chance. If I was born a little earlier, I could have started making my mark. But that doesn't mean that I'm completely hopeless about the future. Even though it is going to be a post-COVID era, I am very hopeful. And I think that's just the way I am as a person. I'm very hopeful of whatever to come and however it's going to affect us. And at the end of the day, there is still a lot left for humanity to conquer. So it just seems like a good place to start, whatever age you are, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, regardless of your situation.
Okay. Anand, do you think she's being simply optimistic about the fact, or she hasn't understood the implications? Or is it that you agree with her?
I think there is definitely good reason to be optimistic, and one way of looking at the situation during this pandemic is, even in an era of where jobs can't be performed on site and when there's an economic downturn, we should also acknowledge the fact that the pandemic in this era has allowed us to pursue other more productive avenues just by sitting at home. You can apply for jobs that are purely work from home at this point, including jobs that involve data entry. You can take several online courses as well. It probably is a historic and opportune moment for you to prove your mantle in terms of how well you can mold the situation to your productive nature. So I do agree with that there is great reason to be optimistic, and that it is up to each person uh, to make the best of the situation.
Okay, so that's a nice point. Does it boil down to our individual natures, Ushwa? What if you were pessimistic by nature, or if you were not good at your studies, or if you had a job that couldn't be performed online?
Well, I would tell you upfront that I am not good at my studies. That is definitely a big factor. But that's not the point. The point is, regardless of what you are doing right now, the world itself is at a tipping point. And at this tipping point, there is two ways to go. Either you forget everybody that you don't believe is essential and you move ahead by yourself, which is a lot more selfish on way too many levels, or you choose to recognize the important work that each person does in the intricate system that has created our world today. And me sitting at home from the comforts of sitting on my couch, if I'm able to talk to you, that's not just because one person sitting somewhere wrote a bunch of source code to make this app happen. That was the combination of many, many different types of apps and also a lot of, combined ideas that came together. It's a platform that was built on years and years of human experience. And that's true even on a day-to-day basis that happens. We don't just learn from our textbooks. We don't just learn from sitting at home and looking at a screen. We learn from everything around us. And they don't even have to be the biggest, most important things. I'm not saying I could have learned trigonometry or something from sitting at home staring at a screen.
Yeah.
But I definitely did learn quite a bit about who I am as a person. And that's just as important. And that's the whole point. The point is to be optimistic because of you not forgetting who you are and where you are in this world. And that's true for everybody. So you, wherever you are sitting, will have that same inclusive experience where you realize I am alone. And at the same point, I can't do enough with my life, regardless of how old you are. But that's the situation. And that situation itself calls for that feeling itself. And that's where you kind of break down and see yourself. You learn from it. And I don't know, I guess I've just seen so many people go through the same experience, use the same words to describe the lockdown on either side of the spectrum, extremely positive or extremely negative. So in some ways, I'm collecting data in my head to realize that yes, we're all in the same human experience. It's just different minds. So yeah.
So there are two questions, rather a two-pronged question that is coming in my head. Anant, if you want to take this forward, what she said. I think it was interesting that she kept talking about herself till she suddenly diverged and landed up talking about the data, which is something that I find very intriguing in today's times. We are all together in our aloneness, as a philosophical line goes. Is what she is the point that she's making, that you as a person have a choice to influence, to start with your own life, but if you contribute to a certain mindset, not only will you be able to contribute to your own self, but make since she gave the example of an app, make something which is more of global repercussions also possible if you stick to finding your strength within this challenging time. Does the buck stop with us to start with?
Okay. So to backtrack a bit and to address what I spoke of earlier, in terms of whether it is your personality as an optimist or a pessimist that is influential, I think an important facet that overrides this personality trait is what you see, what is the circumstances you find yourself in. Since there is emphasis on values in this conversation of ours, it would be unethical of me to ignore the fact that it is a luxury for us to debate optimism and pessimism here, when for majority of the people in this world, having a laptop, being able to afford a laptop and having a Wi-Fi connection to make the best of your time during this pandemic, that's still a luxury. So as much as the buck stops with you, it is dependent on you to acknowledge your privilege at a certain point, but it's not so easy for majority of the people living in this world. So I think that's my take on this, whether we consider ourselves either positively approaching or negatively approaching the situation.